So hello! So today's video is going to be on education and why it's really important to educate yourself, whether that be in school or otherwise. So before I head off into this video, I just want to say thank you guys so much. We hit 5,000 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. Kind of unbelievable. I didn't think that many of you guys actually wanted to watch me that consistently, but hey, thank you so much. But yeah, let's get into why education is super duper important and all the kinds of education that you can get and some other topics. Okay, let's go. Alright, so when we talk about education, typically what we mean is schooling or, standardized schooling, high school, middle school, elementary school, college, getting graduate degrees, that kind of thing. But education isn't just going to school, going to college, and getting a master's degree. It's much broader than that. So whether you're currently enrolled in classes, or whether you're currently apprenticing under someone else, or even if you're just educating yourself with the resources that you have available, such as Google, such as, going to your local library and reading up on things to learn, it is very important to educate yourself and get yourself some knowledge, because it does help you grow and develop and, help to establish your own opinions and overall just help better prepare yourself for life in general. What do I mean by that? So I did go to college. I did have a traditional schooling. And I did get a bachelor's degree in communications, and, I did do the traditional route, but I do understand in today's society that's not always the case. Some people will apprentice for more skill-based tasks, some people will go to trade school, and, some people will pursue education in very new and unique ways. With the internet, you can now take classes online. So if you are working a bunch of jobs to, pay rent and get through your life, it is actually very possible to educate yourself in new and adaptive ways that help you have your job, but also get some knowledge. Now, I do know that some people may think that education is dumb, and, what you learn in your elementary or middle or high school may not exactly apply to what you eventually do as a job. But that is not a good reason not to get educated. Let's go further. So when we talk about education, we do understandably usually think of knowledge and life skills and things that you can use practically once you leave your educational place, whether that be studying for GEDs or homeschooling or college or trade school or what have you. But there's another really good reason that you should actually educate yourself and seek out knowledge, and that is perspectives. Having a unique perspective on, life in general or on other people's viewpoints is really helpful, because it helps you to understand how to interact with other people that may have a perspective or viewpoint that is different than yours. A good example of this actually came recently in the news when a beauty blogger decided to do a chocolate challenge, not realizing the implications of blackface and intense racism and how bad that is as an idea. While we're at it, don't cosplay Mr. Popo, because that's just a bad idea too. But essentially, gaining those unique perspectives also helps you understand, where someone's coming from. If you're talking to someone from the South and they are the type that has the stars and bars tattooed on them somewhere or on a truck, you may hold your own opinion about where that comes from and what that means, but they might also have a unique perspective on what that means to them. Now, you don't have to agree, and neither one of you necessarily has to be right or wrong, but understanding both sides makes it a lot easier to discuss really intense topics like that with information and respect, because you understand, you've educated yourself, and you know where that perspective is coming from. That's why you typically learn, at least in American schools, about the history of America and, where everything came from, so that when you're going to talk about something, you have a good reference point for your particular argument. Now, I went to both a southern and a northern East Coast school growing up. My formative years in kindergarten and kindergarten and like primary school through like fourth grade were mainly spent in Dallas, Texas. You learn about the War of Northern Aggression and you learn about the Alamo, and that's all I remember from that class. But when I came to the more northern schools, you learn about Paul Revere and you learn it's the Civil War. So having that unique perspective does really help when you're having conversations. Additionally, if you are going to take a trade school class to understand, the trade that you want to be really, really well versed in and make into a career, it does really help to have the perspective of those around you, whether it be in an online or an in-person classroom, to kind of understand the industry as a whole, gain unique perspectives, and make a few friends along the way. But educating yourself so you can really understand perspectives and speak in a way that is both respectful, informative, and also talk to people who may have opinions different than yours is a really great asset when you go to actually get a job, because you can be more relatable because you understand everybody's point of view, maybe not perfectly, but at least to a degree where you can have an informed and polite, respectful conversation. Now, skills. While you may not use some of the things that you learn in your formative years, such as calculus, God knows I don't use that, and you may not apply everything that you know, there are certain skills that are going to jump out to you later in life that are extremely helpful to have on hand no matter what industry you go into. If you are planning to be an art major and you're in college and you're taking art history and color theory and all of that jazz, I would also suggest you take some time out of your semester day or life to also learn some applicable life skills. One thing that I did not learn in my traditional setting was how to do taxes, how to negotiate rent and power and lease, and how to extend a credit card to make it through billing season without blowing through all your money. Investing is also a really great thing that you can learn. And while you may not learn that in a classroom, some schools do have a way for you to learn that. You can also go online. YouTube is a magical place full of tons of creators who have immense knowledge for you to resource for whatever you need. So I actually learned how to do my taxes from watching a YouTube video. That is also a form of education. Additionally, I also learned how to stretch a credit card for as long as you need it to go before, you're screwed from a YouTube video. And, educating yourself with non-traditional mediums is really helpful. Like if you are a student about to graduate college and you need to know how to handle your resume because maybe you went to the office to learn about that, but maybe they were vague or untrained or old school and didn't know the newest thing, I actually have a video on that. You can go on my channel and look it up. I'm not going to link it below because I'm pretty sure most of you aren't going to care, but there are tons of different sources of education that are at your disposal. So always use them because those practical skills will come in handy at the most random times. You do not expect it to happen. And I certainly did not expect advanced math to be in my future as part of my job, but it is. And understanding how specific formulas work and how to navigate an Excel sheet, pivot tables, and conditional formatting is actually something that I really needed to know. And curiously enough, I taught myself through YouTube videos, trying it out myself, and from doing my taxes because I use Excel to do my taxes and it makes life so much easier. But yeah, having those skills is super duper helpful and it's a great. Now, it's no mystery that if you're trying to get a job, having a strong educational background is very, very attractive. You know, if you are thinking like you are going to do one specific thing and you don't want to go to college and you don't want to go to certain schools and you want to, you know, make it on your own without that background, I understand where you're coming from and I get it. But I would caution you that if you're going to do that route, at least make the effort to educate yourself with a variety of sources that can only do you good. So even if you want to be a commissions-based fursuit maker, please invest some time into training with Microsoft Office, with, you know, things that help you manage your finances. Learn a little bit of tax code. You're probably going to need it when you file your business as like a legitimate business. Look into all of that. Look into some legal things. So, you know, if you run into a situation where you have to actually press charges, you are not freaking out on Google at 3 in the morning for the first time in your life. Actually look into all of that, because even though, you know, you might think school is dumb, what you're learning is not going to be used later in life, and it's a waste of your time and money, it's not. Like, certain education is absolutely necessary 100% all the time, because what's going to end up saving you money later in life is if you have to hire a tax consultant, or you have to hire someone to manage your finances, or, you know, say you didn't even learn how to cook. Having to live off ramen is actually a lot more expensive than buying, like, you know, medium grade groceries and cooking yourself something every night. Going out to lunch all the time because you don't know how to cook gets expensive. You know, not knowing how to do certain things gets expensive. So educate yourself. It actually, in the long run, will save you some money, even if it's, you know, not a college degree. At least try to take some classes, even if you have to watch some like webinars or what have you. Get education, because education is a invaluable resource for you as you're getting started and later in life. Say you're 57 and you want to have a full-blown career change. If that's something that, you know, interests you, go look into some online courses and actually invest some time into learning the skill set that you need. I'll be completely honest. What I do for work now, I did not learn in college. I learned the basics. I learned the theory, but I didn't learn the application at all, because in my industry of social media marketing, the landscape is changing so fast, it's really hard for set curriculums to tackle that. So what you should do instead is, if you can apprentice with someone, if you can watch YouTube videos, if you can read up on it, you can find blogs that have information pertinent to what you want to learn, go do that. It might take 1 hour, 2 hours, maybe a couple days out of your week, but it's so helpful and it's so necessary, and it is not a waste of time. Make sure you educate yourself as much as you can, because it will only strengthen you in the long run and probably save you money. So that's all I have on education. I just want to put it out there. If you are currently in high school, middle school, college, trade school, taking online classes, going for your master's, apprenticing somewhere, go you, because that is awesome, and I fully endorse that, and I ship that to hell. And I would say never stop learning. I myself actually am watching the new Bill Nye videos and watching some other scientific stuff, because I honestly never really cared about science when I was in school. But even though I don't really care about it, I feel like I need to know it. So what I've actually been doing is watching some YouTube videos, watching Netflix specials, and really educating myself on that. So I just know. So I have a little bit more information, and I'm more informed, so that when decisions are made, either in Congress or House or by the president or whatever, I have a little bit more context and more information there, so I can really understand what's going on. I mean, if you want to get into the political sphere, absolutely make sure you watch all kinds of stuff on the internet that you can find. Make sure it's credible, though. The Onion is not a credible source. And educate yourself. Just educate yourself as much as you can, because it is the best thing ever, and I can't stop talking about it. And I honestly think it is the strongest thing that you can do for yourself, and it'll really set you set you up for a great career, life, and otherwise. But yeah, have a great weekend, guys, and I will see you in the next video.